Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Bob Randall and Company Live. That's right, it is Monday. So at this time, let me introduce the one, the only, the man who always has a plan, the performer who performs on his time, your time, my time, prime time, showtime. The only magician that can perform this trick riding a eight-legged white horse bareback and all the while making a chocolate eclair disappear. That's right,
Mm.
the performer formerly known as Handy Randy but now has five names. Yep, Magical Randall Santa Checker Lee.
Wow. Man, the show is over. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hey, you
Uh,
rave about the intro so much, I had to throw a good one in there
oh
today.
my
I'm feeling a
goodness
little bit
gracious.
down. I know everybody has been, and I thought, hey, let's start the show
Uh,
off with a bang. So
oh, that's a
there you go,
bang, all
Randy.
right. Wow. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Bob. Always great to see you, Bob. Hi, Angela, back there. Good to see everybody again. Welcome everybody for joining us on a Monday afternoon. So good to see you. As I will say, TGIM. Um, it's that time again. It's Monday again. They just come around every week, don't they? They come around every week, don't they? I think that's a thing.
It is.
Ooh, look at
Thing
that.
right there called Bob Randall and Company Live on Mondays.
Mondays. And of
Yeah.
course, we know it's
Yes, sir. We
always free.
always free. That's correct.
Oh, goodness, Bob. Uh, how's everything in
Yep.
your neck of the woods for weather?
Well, it rained the last couple of days, rained most of the night last night. It's sunshiny, 71, and really just has turned out to be a fantastic day after a dismal night. Had some thunder, not much, lightning a little bit, but quite a bit of wind and an inch and a half of rain or so, something like that, maybe close to 2 inches. That's all right. It's springtime. We've got to expect it to. Why put some fertilizer on the St. Augustine grass, so hopefully that'll make it grow even that much faster and green up.
It's so
So
nice when that grass starts growing. It just then you
yeah.
clip it, go mowing, and it's summer. That smell of that cutting that grass is an
That fresh
amazing thing.
fresh smell you get, yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's that springtime feel, and those bluebonnets are starting to pop out down here in the south. So in the Indian paints, those are always pretty along the roadsides. So, yeah, it's better than the the week, the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month that we've kind of had. You got to look at the bright side. The show must go on.
yeah,
You
and it
know,
hasn't been. I hate to. I don't bring up the negative right now, but yeah, it's there's been some really sadness and negativity, not negativity, but sadness in our Santa holiday community, Mrs. Claus community. It's just it just I hate this. It doesn't seem like it's stopping this year, and it's really uh, it's something. Of course, we can't do anything about, of course, but we know they're in a better place, and they know they are too. But man, it's just hurts to see another brother or sister gone.
can be sad. We're speaking of Dolphus Lee Day. He's a resident here of Mesquite. One of my very best and closest friends, and it's been really hard losing him. I talked to him 2 weeks ago, and he was going in last Monday to have surgery on his foot. And for those of you who know him from the region or have met him in person, he's had a really bad limp for a long time. He was a rodeo photographer inside the rink, and he worked right outside the chute. And as the chute came up one night, a wild bull come bucket out of there with a cowboy on the back and happened to catch his foot and leg and just shattered the bones in it, tore it up really bad. And then he's broke it a couple of times since then, and it's just never been the same. And he actually went in this last Monday to have surgery and uh, passed away Thursday. So, like I said, it's been a tough one. We loved him dearly. It's one thing I'm going to miss most about Dolphus is he never failed to call and check on you, and always told you that he loved you when he got ready to cut you loose. And he was just so optimistic about finally getting that foot fixed, and it's just hard to understand. I mean, if he hadn't went in, he got it fixed, and who knows, he could have carried on maybe. but the pain was just, excruciating for him. So he had to get it done. I want to tell a real quick story before we move along.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
please.
Another one of our Santas that lives just a few blocks from me. And I helped Office and Scott West, who I'm speaking of, uh, get started in the professional ranks, and they had both, seen what I was doing and knew that we were just within a mile of each other, and wanted to get together. And so I took them under my wings and taught them everything Gordon had taught me and everything I could teach them, and it kind of got to be known as the Three Amigos because every time there was a gathering, we three went together, and so it was kind of a nickname that was tagged on us. Well, Scott had told me about a guy that he had met at Walmart. It says he's got a real nice white beard. And he's really a funny guy, and he came up to me and in Walmart and was asking me if I had heard about a Santa school that was going to be in North Texas, and he told me out, and he knew me, and to contact me, and he gave him my contact information. And it was a couple of days later, we had went shopping, and on our way home, we got a big bubble on the side of our front tire, and I pulled over, and we just happened to be right across the street from a Walmart, which is where we bought our tires from. Coincidental. So we decided to run over there. Well, it's the middle of the summer. It's hot out. It's over 100 degrees, and I asked the wife if she would go in and ask them if they had the size tire that we needed while I kept the van running, and that way the food wouldn't, the ice cream wouldn't melt and whatever. And I'm sitting there with the engine running, kind of, looking around. And all of a sudden, a pickup truck comes flying around the corner, pulls up next to me, glares out the window at me, steps out with a cane, hobbles over to me, and looks down in the window at me. And I rolled my window down just a little bit because I wasn't too sure, even though he had a white beard. And he said, "Have you heard about the Santa school they're having here in North Texas?" He said, "You look like you might be a Santa." And I said, "Yes, sir, I am. And I am the organizer of that. It's the Set Bob's class. And we're having it here in a few weeks." And it was just the way he looked at me and the smile he had on his face. And I'll tell you what, no matter how much pain or how much burden Dolphus had on his shoulders, he always was smiling jolly. He was just the epitome. So, real quick, I mean, I know it seems like we're doing this way too often, Randy, but we're going to ask for a moment of silence for Dolphus.
Please,
And
please.
if you will, Angie's going to show a couple of photos of Dolphus as we go here. But if you'll bow your head, please, for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Wow, it's just way too
So,
often
for
now.
those of you who may want to come, I haven't actually talked to Penny, his wife, or his son Sean. Personally, I've kind of been given a little bit of space and trying to find out, what their plans were through social media. And Sean posted that the viewing for Dolphus, his father, would be April 4th at 2 p.m. at the Mesquite Funeral Home here in Mesquite, Texas. For anybody that might want to drop by and pay your last respects and condolences to the family and tell a story or two, it would be greatly appreciated. And on another somber note, is the 2-year anniversary this week of Spangle's wife, Daisy Mae, passing in the car accident that she had. And then, we recently have lost other Santas in the community. Claude McPherson Jr. here in North Texas, another one of our local Santas, and Lone Star Santa brother, Texas State Santa brother, and Kenny Blair, we spoke of. Just don't get any easier, brother. Just don't get any
Doesn't
easier.
get any easier. It's too wait. It's just too often. It just
Yeah,
too often. It's and I hate to say this word. It's scary, even though we know we're going to a better place.
yeah,
It
yeah,
still is scary.
yeah. It's the unknown of how and when that I think
Yeah,
is the anxiety over it all. So many different ways to go, I guess you'd say, but uh, it's not that we're going to go because we know we are, and we know where we're going as long as we've
right.
got our faith to fall back on. All right, are you ready for that big old something burger? Let's get to moving along here.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, here we go, guys. And as always, it's Randy's got the first question up, and what a good one he has for you today. So go ahead and take it, Randy.
I just thought about that. I don't have my thing up here. Hold on, hold on. Oh, I just messed up because I had to reboot.
It's been one of those days.
It's been one of those days, Randy.
I
We
just
were a few minutes
realized I
late
had to
getting
reboot.
started
So
today.
there we go. Now I got everything up. I just had to. There we go.
Kind of had the
Sorry
same
about
problem with
that.
mine. I was pulling my stuff up. Every time I pull it up, it would disappear, and I have to go find it again. And I don't know. It's
All
been
righty,
great.
guys.
Social media, just everything in general. It's been kind of crazy.
Well, I've been asking some different things about your being Santa and Mrs. Claus and different things like that. I want to go now. We might as well start out with some questions that I thought I'd pose that a young child might ask Santa or Mrs. Claus. A child says to you, Santa or Mrs. Claus, I want to see the North Pole. Oh, Santa, I want to see the North Pole. Can I take a ride on your sleigh to the North Pole? Oh, please, please, Santa, can I come to the North Pole and see it? What do you say to that child? How do you tell that child no?
And you hear that a lot too, Randy. I mean,
A
it's
lot of them want to see the North, and you can't blame them. I mean, it's they want to ride the sleigh, and what do you say to your what do you say to the children?
I just always, let them know that the North Pole is a very long way off, and it's a very, very cold trip, and that their mom and dad more than likely wouldn't let them go. And if they did, they wouldn't be back in time for dinner, and they wouldn't want to miss dinner. And mom and dad would miss them while they were gone. And the outsiders just aren't allowed at the North Pole. It's just a standard rule that we have there, especially during the pandemic. We wanted to make sure we, stayed safe, and it's just a rule that we've always had. Yeah, and I guess there's a number of different answers you can give there.
Those two of those are actually the ones that I use the most. Also, what Bob said is it's a long ways, and your mom and dad or your parents or whoever, they're not going to let you fly up there on the sleigh. And there's only so many seat belts anyway. Sometimes I say that. And the one about not having outsiders, I use those the most. Those are the ones that and then sometimes it's always that thing we want to throw them off track. Um, so I'll ask them, well, where's the North Pole? Is it there? Is it this way? Which way is it? And they point up. No, no, that's not the North Pole. So then I just throw them off to give them an answer. But usually it's me for mom and dad, or the outsiders, or then I try to throw them off by what is north. And so that's how I try to get out of it. I guess is the easiest thing. Let's see what everybody else has got to say. We got a lot of people on. Great to see everybody. Dana, Mark, everybody. Mike's there. Jerry, Bart, Nancy. My goodness. Cynthia, Jerry. We got Jackie's here. Charlie. Hey, Mitch, how are you? Good to see everybody. Ray. Man, we got a bunch. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's see what we've got here for some answers. Mike says it's a long ways, which it's we can't fly at lightning speed with anybody else in the thing, so it's going to take a long flip, and not enough. Only have so many seat belts. So what I'll use too. It's very cold, and I don't want you to get frostbite or sick. I always wanted to say the ones. Do you have any super snuggy muggy long underwear? But you can't say the word underwear anymore. I used to say that sometimes before years ago when saying the word underwear was okay, even as Santa. Then you need triple long john underwear, and you can't really do that. At least I haven't lately because of the just saying the word underwear is Santa shouldn't say. So, Santa Doug says you can't take. We can't take you, but we have a picture scrapbook, photos of North Pole, um, Santa's cottage, Santa's castle. Um, see, that's maybe you can show them pictures if you've got a scrapbook with you if you're doing something live. Well, this is what it looks like. Um, yes, Mitch doing well. Fine. The old zipper's staying there. Hasn't opened up again, thank goodness. Um, Long johns. Oh, good idea to call them, Mike. Mike said to call them long johns instead of underwear. That's a good idea. Then you can still say that you need triple pair of long johns to. Um, Ernie says humans are not allowed to visit at the North Pole because I need protective village with Mrs. Claus and all the elves and all the secrets. We just couldn't take a chance. That's like Bob said. We're can't let outsiders in. Because of that. The elves and the magical fairies won't allow it. Well, that's probably a real good one to put the blame on. Is the elves and the fairies?
Yeah, and you can always go back and extend that answer by the fact that the elves found Santa and taught him how to make toys and help build the North Pole, and that it really belongs to them that Santa and Mrs. Claus are just residents there. So
Take it a step further by using them as an excuse and then explaining more about it, then giving more history about Santa. Um, Mark, good to see you. Our elves and other magical creatures can go to the North Pole. The elves blessed me when reindeer are granted special magic to go and live there. Kind of what Bob just
yeah,
said. We just
that's
live
it.
there. We're not. It's not open to the public. It's not like an amusement park, so you can't say it to the child. But it's um, Charlie, it's a video visit, I tell them, and I can give them a virtual tour. Otherwise, a person I can show them photos. Um, and that's what I used to do when I used to do a lot of virtual. I had a magic screen, even though it was a blue screen. Um, I used to have the buttons on it. It was just a piece of cardboard and with a blue screen on it, about the size of a picture frame. And I used to just touch my the keyboard, and it would show the different rooms. It would show the reindeer. It would show so they could see more than just this frame. Um, but that was on virtual. But what they're saying is a great idea too. You have that little book along. Um, you can show pictures and good explanations how not to go or why not to go. Um,
I've even went as far, Randy, as to say that Santa is very very busy with the making of the toys and running of the business known as the North Pole toy company and all this sort of thing. You can go into more detail, like I said, but I always tell them that Hollywood likes to make movies about Santa, Mrs. Claus, the North Pole, but there was only one that they actually filmed at the North Pole, and they came to Santa and wanted to know if it would be in this movie, a documentary about Santa taking on the suit, and of course I had to explain to them I didn't have time to do that sort of thing, but I did have a friend that I knew would make a perfect Santa Claus fill-in for Santa in the movie, and his name is Tim Allen. And if you've ever watched any of the Santa Claus series with Tim Allen as the Santa Claus, you will see that Bernard's in there, the North Pole is in there. That was actually filmed at the North Pole, and they just that kind of sets it off for them.
that's a good idea to say their movies are made. That's why people they think can go there, but those are all just movies. Um, uh, Next, Charlie says you can also put photos, videos, North Pole on your phone or tablet, and
Great idea.
definitely have them along with you. Um, but yeah, it's they're gonna, oh, please, and I want to go. I'll it's okay. And the cute little faces, it's like, ah, you want to give them everything, but we can't. But got to have the right answer or something that's fun back to let them know without upsetting them.
True. I want to Just say real quick, one of the comments there from Jack Dolph here in North Texas with me. Yeah, Claude passed away week before last, Jack. I'm sorry you didn't hear about it, but uh, yeah, we lost Claude also. Okay.
All right. Got, let me see what we've got here. Um, yeah, Greg, Mark
Yeah.
says Greg Switch has an amazing virtual tour of the North Pole. I mean, his reindeer is, I mean, everything at Greg's studio there is phenomenal. That what Greg does.
Absolutely.
So, but great. Again, always, guys, thank you for your input and everything else. And we have to have those answers for the children, and we know we all have them. So, but it's fun to hear. Fun, really good fun to hear to different varieties of them. Thank you. Always thank you.
Bart says he always carries his North Pole passport with him. Great idea.
Hey, you have to have maybe that would be a good thing. You have to have a passport to get into the North Pole.
Someone had mentioned it, I think, up there further up the list
Yeah.
about, huh?
It was Bart.
Bart.
Yeah.
It was Bart that mentioned it.
Okay. I'm sorry I missed it.
Got Santa Patrick Moss with us this afternoon. Hi, Patrick. He will be our esteemed guest tomorrow night, so we'll talk more about that here in a bit. Okay, yeah, Jack, you do, and if you don't have one, I've got a lot of them left. So me and Spangle both went out and went together and bought another lot of those. If you need a badge and wallet, North Pole badge and wallet, we've got them. And then, of
They're,
course, Spangle's got some variations from the red one that we started.
they're great. They're just a nice thing to show the people.
They really are. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move
Very good,
along.
Bob.
Let's if anybody happens to pop in and puts up any more answers according to the first one there,
Yep.
we'll catch them. Hello, Russell. Good to see Russ on today too. All right. So the next question is: have you found that doing a city organized event or corporate event that said entities have started asking for a higher policy before hiring Santa Mrs. Claus? We're talking about the abuse and molestation coverage, which is typically 300K to 500K. But there's been some talk lately that there's been some folks asking for 1 to 2 million on that as well. And I was just wondering if anyone else had that problem this past 2023 Christmas, and if you've booked already for 2024, has anyone brought up the fact that they want you to up the coverage on your abuse and molestation clause on your insurance?
Yeah, I know the big box store, one of the big box stores asked for, I think it's a 2 million. They
Yeah.
asked if you want to work for the big box store. I can't say the word, but you have to have it. Um, and a local city I work for here in the Metro Detroit area, I do their Santa house every weekend and their tree lighting, and um, they also want a 2 million. They've wanted that for years. It's not it's not cheap, but I, I see more and more companies. At least I see more and more companies asking for it. Um, Corporate events. I don't know if other people out there do or don't, but they ask, "Do you have insurance? Please send us a copy of your insurance policy."
I guess, everything's been affected by inflation. So why wouldn't we think that
Right.
insurance policies wouldn't either? Because as each day goes by, the dollar is worth less and less because of inflation. So it makes sense. I hadn't thought about it and I hadn't ran into that situation. I thought that would be a good question to pose. Mark Rector says no changes in my booking so far for this season. Uh, Joseph Morin says 4 million. So there you go. There's one that's asking for big bucks. Uh, Dana Prostrollo says, my screen's jumping on me again. We have quite a few big events, but nobody's asked for anything that's larger as far as insurance goes. Okay, that's a good thing. But just be prepared if it does, because there are some out there asking for more. Uh,
I don't know if anybody works for. I mean, many work for malls. I'm sure they do. At least in my Metro Detroit area, unless you have a good insurance, you're not going to work at any mall.
Yeah. Mark says he saw something on one of the other sites last week asking for 3 million coverage. I have, let's see, Ernie says, I have not yet, but I sent a copy of everything with my invoice before they ask. It looks more professional without being asked. That's true. That's a great point, Ernie. Russell says, how's everybody's clause cards rating going? I think everybody that has clause cards are beginning to collect more and more. I know I receive 1 or 2 or 3 cards a day now. So everybody is following through on it. It's been fun so far. Uh, got this little jewel right here in today. Mr. Ron McLeod,
Yeah.
Rio Rancho, New Mexico. He just got his cards. And he's come up with a really cool idea, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But right there at the end of my finger, he's asking everyone to sign his cards that you send him, and he signed his. So that's kind of something new, and maybe that's something that Spangle needs to think about, leaving a little space there blank for actual autograph.
And I sent one out to Ron and oh, I didn't sign it. So I am dim and said, Ron, I'll send you another one signed. So sorry.
I seen yesterday where Rex Ray's been asking for folks, to send his because they had agreed mutually a couple of weeks back to get them, and Rex was having trouble getting them. Want to know if it was the mail or folks was just not following through. And I seen yesterday where Santa Mel had written that she got hers back shredded that she sent him, and that she would get him another one in the mail. So I don't know if a dog got after the postal letter carrier or what, but there again, I didn't use postman Jack. Did you see the conversation in the bar over here about firemen? It's not politically correct to use the term fireman anymore.
No, it's not
So
politically.
instead of using postman, I said letter carrier or postal carrier.
Just don't go postal. That's the thing, though. You got to be careful with that
exactly.
one. Got to be careful with that one too, now, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Got to be careful with everything you say. It doesn't matter what you say. Oh, son. Oh no, don't say the word son. That could be reference to my child, and it could be, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Jack said when he mentioned fireman, he was told fire people.
Fire people.
Mm-hmm. What's the term around the firehouse, AJ? Since you hang out at the firehouse, tell us what the term is there. All right,
Yeah,
Randy. Well, you know what? We've covered our 30 minutes on this portion of the show. So fantastic job, everyone. Thank you so much for your input. It's impertinent to all of us learning and being able to share and getting better at our craft. And these questions are posed to make us all think and be aware of any situation that may pop up. And it makes us all better.
we were better together.
Better together. Okay, Angie, are you ready to go ahead and let's jump into the santascloset.org
Yeah.
trivia? Here we go, guys.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob Randyl and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
So, unless you've been locked away at the North Pole and don't get your daily news or know the happenings of what's going on, we've got a big eclipse coming, solar eclipse coming, and we just happen to be sitting in the path of totality right here at our house. So it's going to be pretty cool. We got our glasses ready. We're all prepared. There's hundreds of thousands of people that are traveling to the totality zones up and down from the southern part of the United States all the way up, and going to be quite the deal because this particular path will not be revisited for another 300 years or something like that. I don't remember. 23. I don't remember. It's a long time. It'll be long after we're all gone. So anyway, throw this one at him, Randy. This is a good one.
First one I want to say, AJ said firefighters.
Firefighters.
That's what they're called, firefighters. So just wanted to put that in. All righty, guys, here's the question. The maximum number of solar eclipses is blank per year. The least blank solar eclipses per year somewhere on Earth. The total eclipse, not plural, the total eclipse can only happen during blank blank. Wow, here we go with the blanks again. The maximum number of solar eclipses is...
That includes partial, annual, and total, Randy.
Okay, partial and okay. That's per year. Then there are at least blank solar eclipse per year somewhere on Earth. A total eclipse can only happen during a blank blank. So we actually need 3 answers for this one. Maximum number of solar eclipses, partial, annual, and total is blank per year. So we need that number there. And there are at least blank, which is another number, solar eclipse per year somewhere on Earth. The total eclipse can only happen during a blank blank, and that's a word. That's actually a couple words.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Put it all together. It's happening soon, which is going to be the last one in our lifetime, which is rather amazing. Remember the old days when you were in school, you had to make that box and you had to put the pinhole in one side and you couldn't look it through and you held it up so you could see it happening. And so, remember, we need all 3 answers, not just one, all 3 to win. And of course, AJ, you're in timeout. And so are you, Charlie. You're in timeout for 30 days. Well, you're probably not still 30 days, but just to let you know. So we've got some answers coming up. Remember, 3 answers, 2 numbers, and then where it happens during only. It's a word that happens.
And that'll be a moon phase. To clarify that, the last 2 blanks is a particular moon phase that we're looking for. Okay, good luck, everyone. And got something else, Randy?
Nope, very cool.
All right, let's go ahead and get our ECN video up. It's Elf and Chatterbox News, just for fun.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Noah Lott with Elf and Chatterbox News Report, reporting for the Bob, Randyl and Company live show. Remember, you can catch our live reports every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Now back over to you guys in the studio for the latest on this breaking news event.
All right, so real quick, the breaking news is I have been in contact with the boots on the ground person is helping me with the venue for the Sat Bob's North Texas 11th annual, and it's going to be north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, south of the Oklahoma border, trying to get in a neutralized position. I spoke with Chrissy Kovic this week, and she and I have agreed to do the class together as we have for a couple of years. And so we've set a date. We're just trying to make sure that the venue is available during the hours and time that we have picked. And once we get that confirmation, and we'll start talking more about the Sat Bob's 11th annual 2-day class here in North Texas. This venue is super cool. They hold concerts there weekly. It's a really nice facility. I'm blown away. I hope it comes through because it will definitely be something different that Sat Bob's has never experienced. So, and if it works out the way I want it to, hopefully we can stay on for the Saturday night concert after class. We'll find out. don't know the details yet, but as we find out, we will let everyone know. All right, and of course, we just want to mention one more time, TNL Productions will be in Memphis for the ISC 2024, coming up here at the end of April, and we'll be doing our coverage there. We have a booth. Come by and see us if you want to be interviewed or want to just jump in and say hi. Find Spangle, find us. We're right together. The vendors room is, goodness gracious, gigantic. I believe there's close to 40 vendors. I believe I read. So it's going to be, huh? Going to be a lot. Going to be
That's
a
a
lot
lot.
going on.
That's a lot.
Yep. And if you haven't got your tickets yet and you plan on going to the IC, boy, you better reach out, try to get them, get your hotel room secured. There's still seating left. Fantastic event. It's biannual. Them and Santa Fe Reunion and Gatlinburg rotate every other year, and those are two events that you just don't want to miss. If you've never been to either one of them, put them on your calendar. Get out and experience the joy of being with hundreds of Santas at one time and Mrs. Clauses and Claus family and vendors galore. So going
It's
to be
just
fun. I also happen to know that Miss Allen is having the reindeer games again in Memphis this year. They've made some changes to it. Going to be different, new and fresh. And check in with Mitch on his show and the State of the Union, and he will fill you in on more about what's going on there with him and the reindeer games.
Yeah, what's great about the reindeer games is it benefits things for children. So
Yeah.
it's fun to go to. It's a riot. That's the best part. It benefits children.
I loved it when it was in Gatlinburg. Scott Seriton and I and TNL Productions, filmed it. We didn't have the best location. They were up on the stage. We were down in front of the stage and had cameras on either side of the stage trying to capture what was going on. And it was so much fun, so funny. But what really took me back was the fact that how folks were bidding up the bids on the eggs and the number of eggs and who they wanted to actually, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Poor,
and that's where a big
poor Deb
chunk
Gillum.
of money
She
that came from the bidding from the audience, which was so
yeah.
delightful to see.
Yeah. So
Really cool.
it's all benefits to children, which is a great thing to do. It's totally an offshoot from the ISC, but it's a very good thing for the children. That's the bottom line. That's why we're here to make things better for them. So
That's right. All right, Randy, you want to cover the School of Santas?
yeah, of course, the School of Santa down in Branson, of course, Missouri again coming up. It's only 1 week this year. It's July 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's just where entertainment and learning meet each other. It's totally self and inclusive. It's a phenomenal time. The keynote speaker is none other than Jeff McMullen. Kringle University. He was just last weekend at the Master Claus Academy. Of course, he runs his own school, and so Jeff will be a phenomenal keynote speaker down there. But there's only a couple of tickets left, from what Spangle says. He's trying to squeeze in a few more people. So it was a real quick sellout after how everything was. So don't miss. If you need to go, get a hold of Leanna. Is that I pronounce
Tanya Lay
Tanya Lay.
at Branson Ticket and Travel.
So
Just
that's
type in Branson Ticket and Travel. You'll get the number and then ask for Tanya.
yeah. So I'm sure we can get Spango find room for you. But another
Yeah.
wonderful time. The shows,
Yeah,
the
and
food, great time.
he shared with me yesterday that he's got something for us to do every night now. He's filled up, taking us here, taking us there, doing this, doing that. I mean, it's class by day, play by night. Branson has got so much to offer between the shows and the events, and it's gonna be one of them deals where you better bring your energy drink with you because you're gonna need it.
You're going to need a vacation afterwards
You're gonna need a
because
vacation after you go to Branson, exactly.
yeah. And what's nice about Branson is it's down home wholesome, and that's what there's less and less of that around the world, in the States. It's just down home, still good old fashioned wholesome entertainment, and just it's a great place. So don't
Yeah.
miss.
AJ, it's funny that you mentioned that. and I'll get to this in a moment, but we will tell you what Jeff has in plan coming up here. Speaking of Jeff McMullen, he says I cannot wait to hear about what Jeff has to teach. Uh, we'll tell you a little bit more here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and finish out this segment before we jump into the next one. But hey, we want to congratulate Ben Bellhorn, the Ohio Santas, for a fantastic weekend. Oh my gosh, I've heard nothing but rants and raves from everyone who attended. And of course, Jeff was there, and Lee Andrews was there. You put those two up, and you've got two of the
Wow.
finest teachers and funny guys in the business, both so sincere, humble. Uh, what all have you experienced from it, Randy?
I wish I said I went. I couldn't go.
Well, I know you didn't, but
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's come on, a weekend with Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. From what I've talked to the guys, it was a phenomenal weekend. Ben put together a nonstop, a great weekend. There was prizes for everybody. There was just thumbs up to Ben Bellhorn. He did a great job. That was his first thing putting together. Like I said, to get those two guys at his first. Master Claus Academy. Wow, thumbs up, and everybody. There's just like Bob said, rave reviews. Ben, really, man, great job, man.
yep. And Spangle shared a video of them going out or at dinner, and the waitresses, of course, always want pictures with the Clauses, and then they sang, "Here Comes Santa Claus," and it's a great little video. Everybody looked like they're having a fantastic time, and how cool is that? Just can't beat it, right?
That's what it's all about, though. That's where
So,
that fellowship, that connection, that those smiles we bring to the wait staff, to the other patrons that are in the restaurant. I mean, they will go home and talk about that for how long? The pictures and everything. That's why it's not just those classes you go to, it's the total package.
that's exactly right. All right. I guess let's go ahead and move into the TNL upcoming guests and shows. I mentioned earlier, tomorrow night, Santa Patrick Moss, Black Santa, EFX, Houston, Texas. He's multi-talented actor and one heck of a singer, and has his children's book that we debuted last week on the Monday show in English and Spanish. Check in tomorrow night, hear more about that, how he came about writing the story. I got a fantastic script put together, and Patrick is joining us today. Glad to have him on, and we will see him tomorrow night with so much fun and things to talk about. He's got quite the story. Then that takes us to Pamela McCall, award-winning author, and we'll talk about her Christmas book that she's written for children. She's got a series, I want to say 7, maybe 8 books that she's written. Some of them are award-winning. The one that we will be debuting today on the show is this one here. Now, you're talking
Wow.
about a book. This is a hardback,
Wow.
and we'll get into more about it in the nightcap this afternoon. So
Wow. That's a
don't
real
want to jump.
book.
It's a book, and it's one of a kind. It's definitely award winning and one of a kind. And like I said, we'll talk about it in nightcap. So, all right, Randy, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, then on April 9th, we're going to do a preview show coming up for the iBurbs ISC. Going to talk about that, everything that's going to be going on down there, how you can get where TNL's Tuesday Night Live is going to be, where Spangle's going to be. Just going to be a preview show and some special guests to talk about what's going to be happening at the ISC.
Yeah, I've
Again,
confirmed Deanna Golden coming on. She
oh,
is the new
great.
CEO for IBRBS, and uh, she has been secretary for a number of terms, and now she's CEO and got voted into a higher position, I guess you would say. Congratulations to her. Goes out, and she'll be on, and she'll be the one that will cover most of the things that you need to know. Is the way she put it. The things you need to know.
It's a busy week also. I mean, where else can you go to see 700,000-800,000 Santa's Mrs. Claus at one place? I mean, it's kind of overwhelming when you go to something like that. So it'll be a it's a good time. So don't miss the preview show just to hear what's going on and everything else. Then we got Tuesday nights in between there. Some guests that are not quite penciled in, but Bob's got a list of people he wants, but
No,
yes,
no.
well, but then May 14th, we've been talking about Jeff today. Jeff McMullen will be on May 14th. He will be talking about Crinkle U, about Ringling Brothers. He'll talk about so much about his life. Again, he's kind of, when you listen to Jeff talk, you just kind of, it just,
Oh,
I just,
you
his
get
soft
sucked in.
talk is phenomenal. Besides his knowledge, his experiences. So don't miss May 14th, or don't miss School of Santa with Jeff's being the keynote speaker. And
Well,
people will look
and
you
that's
last
kind
week
of
when I seen him.
that's kind of why we wanted to have him on. Spangle says, "Well, let's get Jeff on and get him to talk about some of the things that he's going to be doing at School of Santas. You know, he's the humble vagabond, and so humble. He's such a quality person. I mean, you just can't say enough good things about Jeff Mack, Santa Mac. And so anyway, he'll be on May 14th to talk about upcoming School of Santas and everything Jeff Mack. Let's put it that way.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All
Plenty,
right. I have
plenty other talented people between now and then besides Tuesday Night Live. And of course, we always say it. We can't forget that favorite F word. It's always free, guys, on here or of course on YouTube. So don't miss it. Don't miss them.
In 3 separate parts.
And of course, like I said, it's always free. So
grab,
don't miss them.
grab my
You're right.
free.
We don't, where there's no hidden agenda here to make you pay for something to get more. You're not going to get more if you pay us anything. We don't accept anything. So that's not the agenda here. It's just to share and have everybody come together in this industry. Um, and it's amazing people give their time and effort to better the industry, and they do it all for free. And it's applause
That's right. Matter of fact, we give trivia prizes away.
Yeah, give them away. Yeah.
Our contributor for today, again, is santascloset.org, Santa Wade, and Scarlett Kaufman. And we're indebted to them forever for helping the Monday show and being able to bring these trivia questions to you with a little gift to the winner. So, hey, at this point, let's just go ahead and jump into that. Our trivia answer.
Do we have
You
an?
want-
Do we have a winner?
We do have a winner. I just
Oh.
asked Angela. She says yes, and all three parts are there. So I'm
Good,
gonna
good,
let you
good.
cover it, Randy. It's
All righty, here we go. The maximum number of solar eclipses that was part of partial, annual, or total is the number. It was 5 per year. There are at least 2 solar eclipses per year somewhere on the Earth. And then the total eclipse can only happen during a new moon. So we needed 5, 2, and new moon. And the winner is
Eric and Mo Elliott. Fantastic.
Hey,
Good
all
job,
right.
guys. Good job. All right, so I will get your address and information over to Wade this afternoon and get you a care package on the way. Fun, fun, fun.
Very good.
What do you always say, Randy? Monday fun day or
Oh, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday.
All right.
Yeah. Usually before since I haven't been doing many shows lately because of the surgery, I was like exhausted after the weekends. I was looking forward to Mondays. I was like, oh, I'm glad it's Monday. I can take it easy. But I've had a lot of time off lately. It feels kind of weird. So
Yeah, and Randy shared with me back in the green room. I'll share with everyone. He's feeling better now than he has since the surgery. So that's good news. His recovery is coming along well. He's like he said, he's been getting some rest. He didn't get to go to Ben Bellhorn's Master Claus Academy this weekend. Doctor wouldn't let him travel yet, but that's okay. He's got plenty of time to catch up on everything that's happening. And he's got time to throw us Santa's tips today. So
Yes,
let's go ahead and jump into Santa's tips.
let's do it. Hi, everybody, and thank you again for letting me show you a few things here. Now, this is something that I learned many, many years ago doing magic, and I've just seen it done um, for a Santa and Mrs. Claus. And I'm going to show you what it is from the old style days that we did doing magic and all that. It's Remember newspapers? I don't know. The problem is that's the problem. We don't get many newspapers anymore. But when newspapers were a dime a dozen, it was something easy to do. Um, what it is you would need some newspaper and all that, some tape, a roll, and some scissors. But I'm going to show you what it is. But this is what actually happens. You basically, after you roll the newspaper up, tape it up, you take and if you make a few cuts, I'm just going to make a couple. Oops, I'm sorry. I can do this up a little higher. Cut here, and then we can go this side and cut here. Now, we used to do this to teach children about where do newspapers come from and to recycle and all those kind of things. But I've seen it done lately. I've just seen it done with green construction paper and a piece of brown construction paper. So the story would be fantastic that Santa can make a Christmas tree grow. So because all you would do is you roll it up and then you just take and you pull and pull and pull, and you can make a Christmas tree grow, especially when it's green. The leaves would be green. Then the most fun part is you would take a pack of stickers. If it's Santa Claus, if it's just round dots, and then they can get the children to put ornaments on the tree that you just made. It's a fun thing to carry around. It packs again very, very small, because especially if you're using construction paper, it would fit in your case. But oh my goodness, you're standing up there and you're making a Christmas tree just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you have the children help you put a decoration on it. Man, it's just a lot of fun. But this was something, like I said, I used to do. Most magicians used to do them all the time years ago in their shows. And also, one becomes a ladder. You can make one looks like a ladder. But I seen it done with green construction paper and the brown here for a Christmas tree. Then to take a few moments, it just makes a nice little gift for the family if you're doing a house party. And Santa can do magic. You can do whatever you want to. You can sing jingle bells. You can sing "Oh Christmas Tree," whatever you want to do, and then you make it grow, and the children can decorate it. I've got the actually YouTube video that I can post on the site here, Tuesday Night Live, that shows you how to make it with the green and the brown. Just takes 8 sheets of paper or 8 construction paper, and then that to roll it up step by step. It's very easy to do. It packs about yay big in your pouch, and man, it looks like fun. So it just would be one more thing that it's not magic. It's just one more thing that you can then build a full story about how fast a Christmas tree grows, or how you pack your sleigh. Something that's this big turns out that big in your sleigh. Because how do you pack that many gifts? You can even tell a story about that. It's got multiple uses besides showy as can be. So take a look. I'll post the YouTube video on Tuesday Night Live. It's a good one to do. It's very easy to make. Tape, scissors, and a tube, and of course the paper is all you need to make it, and it's a lot of fun. So just an idea. Because there's so many other craft things you can do, especially on house parties. It's something good to have. All right. Thank you so much as always. What a pleasure. I'm glad I get to spend some time with you, thinking of some different things to show you to make your home visits, or your Santa and Mrs. Claus visits, or your elf visits. An elf can definitely make a tree grow. That would be wonderful. Thank you again. Love you all.
Randy, you're just one of the greatest entertainers that I know that can ride a 8-legged white horse bareback and make an chocolate eclair.
Yeah.
You are good, brother.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. That's always a hard act to follow. And as Tom High up in Vancouver, Washington says, that's his favorite segment each week. So he tunes in just to catch you do your
very
tips.
nice. Thank you.
Wrapping paper.
Yeah, Randy, he says you could use or could you do it with a roll of wrapping paper? It would already be decorated.
Right. You can do it with wrapping paper. Any type, as long as you can just need a long roll. They say to use 8 pieces of newspaper. Now, newspapers are hard to find in my area now. It was $3 for this little tiny newspaper that only had 10 sheets. So 10 pages. So I like the idea about using the construction paper, because then when it grows, it's green. It's green, it's green, it's green, and it's got a brown stem, and then they can help decorate it a little bit. But yeah, you can use, if you can find a really nice um, uh, wrapping paper, why not? I mean, sure. The as long as it's paper and it's cut properly, and I'll show the videos show you how to cut it properly. It's easy to have in your bag, and it's always good to have that bag set for things just in case. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Just have it in there. Oh, the next time I got to fill 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Boom, you've got it.
Perfect. Looks like great. Okay, well, thank you, Randy. Guess Nightcap is our final segment for the day. And well, we promised a little teaser earlier about this big, thick hardback book here. Fantastic illustration on the front. It's called "'Twas the Night," and it's the art and history of the classic Christmas poem. This was written and compiled by Pamela McCall. She will be our guest next Tuesday night, not tomorrow night, but next Tuesday night. She again is an award winning. This book has won so many. It's the first time that anyone has done 10 years of research and went through all the archives. She traveled from city to city, state to state, going to libraries, going to archives, 10 years of her life to put this book together to tell the history of St. Nicholas and Santa Claus. She's got the NAS photos in here. She's got photos never been seen before. She actually found a copy in one of the archives of the original handwritten poem by Clement C. Moore, and it was taken. It was done in the house that he done it in. She actually found that location and went there. It's all in the book. It's a hard copy. It's English. She released it September 22nd. And again, Pamela McCall, she's a phenomenal lady. And we're going to run the segment and just read along. All the information is on there. If you want, make your screen full screen. That way you can be sure and see it better. But here we go. course, it's going to take you a while to go through this book with
That's
that
pretty
many
impressive.
pages. I've kind of, skipped around, looked at some things, looked at some pictures, read a paragraph here and a paragraph there, and it's fascinating how much time she put into and time and travel of her own money to compile this book. But it is, like I said, has won several awards, and the first time anyone has done what she's done with this book. So, and if you want to learn more about her and her past, some of the other books that she's written, that a couple other are award winning. She actually has her own copy that she did that illustrates, and I may have that copy with me right here. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. I'm sorry I didn't have this one ready. Oh, "Twas the Night Before Christmas." It's the Clement Seymour book, of course, the poem rewritten but illustrated and in her own illustrator. Fantastic the way the pictures and things are in this book. It's really a fun, delightful book of the classic poem. Again, just a fresh new version of it. There's thousands of versions of A Visit from St. Nicholas or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, whichever one you know it by. But and this one has also won an award for the illustration and stuff. So there you have it. That is this week's nightcap. I want to thank everyone, and just remember we're here on Mondays, 3 p.m. Bob Randall and Company Live. Our producer Angela Mack over here with us. She also helps keep us straight on Tuesday night. Tuesday Night Live, 7 p.m. Join us, tell a friend, and we appreciate you dropping in week in and week out. 2 nights, 2 days of your time. Randy, great show, man. You always do such a great segment with that tip. So like I said, it's hard to follow.
Oh no, that's interesting. That was I- that book has got to be impressive. I'm very curious about it. I love the illustrations on "Twas the Night Before Christmas" too, but that's
Yeah,
book got to be like that's a long reader. I'm I'm a little slow reader now, but that would be got to be amazing to the in depth that she took on getting that information, that much time and effort, and that's a big book. That's not a small little coffee. That's not a small little paperback or a golden book.
it's
Um,
a heavy book. It's got 264 pages, excuse me. And here's the kicker. It weighs 3.50 pounds. It's heavy.
wow, wow.
And the information in here is incredible. Like I said, of everything that she's put together, the history of St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, and the poem Clement C. Moore, amazing. She goes into depth like nobody ever has. Here's the kicker. Spangle, of course, being the entrepreneur that he is, worked out a deal with Pamela, and he will be a vendor for her book. You can get this book through Spangle, reach out to Spangle, and he's running it on sale right now for $25.
Really, $25? Oh, deal.
$25, what he told
Done.
me.
Oh,
Limited
wow.
time. So,
$25. Come on. That's just,
yep,
even if it sits in your coffee table, you go through it, that's phenomenal. That's
yep. Very nice. Very, very, very,
25.
very cool book. I was quite taken back by it and just her history alone. She's an incredible lady.
Wow.
Okay, we got any questions from anyone in the audience that we haven't already covered? Anything out there anybody wants to say or add to?
Appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you again for all your input every week. We can't be more thankful to have you joining us. And if there's something else out there, we can, if not, it's that time already.
Yeah, looks like everybody's got it pretty well covered. So, all right, well, we did a little over an hour. We've been kind of holding this one to an hour, which has been really good. Don't want to take up too much of your time on some parts of the country. It's really nice. Now, Randy, we didn't talk about how much snow did you get this last week?
Well, we last week was in the teens, and then we got about 5 inches of snow on Friday into Saturday, and it was 62 today and
I
sunny.
was
So it's all gone.
I was
So
watching. I was watching and seeing that the snow had passed over you there, and I thought to myself after last week's, talk about the snow and all the stuff, and I meant
just
to ask you in
crazy.
the beginning of the show, and I forgot to do it. So hey, we got that in.
That's
How
all
about
right.
that?
Just
All right,
crazy.
Randy. Thank you, sir, and
Thank
thank
you
you,
guys.
Angela. thanks to everyone who has joined us today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, with our guest Santa Patrick Moss. That's right, Black Santa EFX, quite a story to tell. And come back here next Monday and let's do it again. We always have fun on Monday.
Yeah. See you
Thanks,
then.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Boom.
Yes.